5 and 5. 5 reminders that it's the teaching, not the tool. Reminder number 1. Relationships.
Safe, caring, and nurturing relationships are crucial to engaging learners in our classrooms. Often, we use a variety of digital tools to collect information about them so that we might get to know each student better on an ongoing basis. When we do this, we need to be mindful that while our ever-evolving digital toolkit can undoubtedly help us do this, it is ultimately through our teaching moves that we create space in our classrooms to elicit student voice. If collecting data with forms, docs, and other tools are no longer serving their purpose, we need to rethink our use of them.
Reminder number 2. Engagement.
Engagement in the learning process will increase students' attention and focus, motivating them to practice higher-level critical thinking skills that promote meaningful learning experiences. Requiring students to have their cameras on or off, for instance, does not necessarily mean that students are engaged or disengaged in the learning. Among other things, educators should be mindful of all families' rights to privacy in their homes, the comfort level of the individual student, as well as the reliability of their access to devices and connectivity. This is not even to mention the impact the historical and ongoing systems of exclusion of marginalized communities, such as Black and Indigenous people, in the education system might play a factor in how comfortable a student feels to put their cameras and mics on or off.
Reminder number 3. Collaboration.
Educational experiences that are collaborative, contextual, social, and student-owned lead to deeper learning. As students use a variety of digital tools that allow for synchronous and asynchronous contributions, we might assume that this equates to collaboration. We need to remember, however, that the tool itself does not automatically create an inclusive and collaborative environment. Prompting questions, groupings, thinking time, and shared cultural responsive norms and guidelines are vital to eliciting the shared responsibility, ownership, and accountability necessary in true collaboration. Remember, being in a shared space is not synonymous with collaboration. Working cooperatively on a task is not synonymous with collaboration. Rather, combining our awesome tools with clear expectations and instruction that teaches collaboration might be the true difference maker.
Reminder number 4. Student voice.
We cannot engage in culturally relevant and responsive education without seeing student voice as the driver. Students have untapped expertise and knowledge that bring relevance and authenticity to our classrooms. As educators, we need to strive to create learning environments that intentionally elicit student voice and commit to using it to inform the direction of learning. When doing this, we must be willing to face the historical and ongoing barriers that marginalized communities, such as Black and Indigenous peoples, continue to face to have their voices heard. Student-driven learning is not just about students sharing their interests with educators. Our students are much more than only their interests and hobbies. Instead, we should partner with students and hold space for them to participate actively in setting a path for their own learning.
Reminder number 5. Innovation.
Before we hope to innovate in our classrooms, we must accept that it has often been a concept historically co-opted and dominated by white cis males due to the disproportionate amount of power and privilege they continue to hold in society. For instance, in the world of technology, we continue to erase the contributions of racialized and LGBTQIA2S+ women in the field. Without naming these barriers and making intentional teaching moves to address them, we are unlikely to disrupt this monolithic idea of innovation. When we reimagine and redesign learning experiences, they should open up new worlds of possibilities for our students, not just by making our processes more efficient. This may involve a different way of looking at problems or considering various ways to solve them. Reproducing an activity that was not culturally relevant or responsive before, for example, will not suddenly make it innovative by making it digital. Real innovation must be driven by effective, anti-oppressive, and anti-racist instruction, not merely through a tool designed by a corporation.